Horror movie fans have been trying to figure out what would have been the beginning of the modern zombie movie. Most people would say Night of the Living Dead, and they wouldn't be far off. That movie did set the standard for all zombie movies to come. It set all the rules in zombie movies, like shooting them in the brain to kill them. If you're bit by a zombie, you become one. These trademarks have stuck with zombie movies ever since Night of the Living Dead. So it would be fair to say that Night of the Living Dead was the beginning of the modern zombie movement. But I say, if it wasn't for one particular movie made a few years earlier, I don't think there would have been a Night of the Living Dead, and I don't think there would be a modern zombie genre. And that particular movie was The Last Man on Earth. Last Man on Earth stars Vincent Price as Robert Morgan, a scientist who survived a worldwide plague that turned everyone but Morgan into an undead vampire. The movie begins by showing us shots of the city completely abandoned, with dead bodies in the streets. It turns out that it's been 3 years after the initial outbreak, and Morgan has been trying to survive every day by gathering food and supplies, all the while trying to devise a cure for the infection. Until then, he tries to kill any of the infected he can find. The movie is actually pretty dark for the time. Up until this point, most horror movies have been about either one monster or an alien invasion. Either the people kill the monster or they stop the invasion. But in this, there is no hope. Vincent Price pretty much owns this film, blending sadness, loneliness, and insanity. The rest of the cast, their acting ranges from good to...
Uncle Ben! Uncle Ben!
Yeah. So anyway, the atmosphere is very creepy, and the choir of women singing really makes it seem otherworldly, almost like a nightmare or something. At times, the movie is very suspenseful and even scary.
Who is it? Who's there?
To sum it up, The Last Man on Earth, despite its flaws, like when you hear the infected talk, it's kinda silly.
Morgan, come out. Come out.
And in my opinion, the ending is a little weak. Despite that, this movie is still a classic, and it is a must-see for any Vincent Price fan.
And you pretended to be shocked at my violence. Well, what are you waiting for? Why don't you go on and use it? Get it over with. Use it. Get it over with.